Gather up your projects, settle in your favorite spot. It's time to stitch with Sarah at her stitchy Camelot. Let's celebrate each other, this community we've got. It's time to get down to Sarah's stitchy spot.
Hello everyone, my name is Sarah. Welcome to my FlossTube channel, where we will discuss and celebrate all things cross-stitch. Grab your favorite beverage, get comfortable, and join me
at Sarah's stitchy spot.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and this is FlossTube number 92. It is Thursday, January 15th, 2026, and I would like to take this moment to welcome each and every one of you to my FlossTube channel. As I do at the beginning of every video, all my love, hugs, and kisses goes to my husband, Stan, for writing and performing the intro song that you just heard. If you are new to my FlossTube channel, welcome. I hope you will like what you see, that you will subscribe, ring the bell, share, like, and do all the things that we do on FlossTube. And for all my returning viewers and subscribers, it is wonderful to see you. I'm going to have a couple of things to talk to you about, but everything is good, and I'm glad that we're all together again. We have, I think, a roundup of all the usual suspects, so I think that we can just dive in. First and foremost, I want us to all keep Barbara, Stitching with T and B, in our thoughts and prayers. She did have a medical issue over the at the beginning of the year. She is home. I think she's getting better and stronger every day, but I think that with our good thoughts and prayers and love and support, we can get her better even quicker. So Barb, this goes out to you, and I'm glad you're home, and I can't wait to see you again on one of your FlossTubes. We had Zoom number 26 on Sunday, and it was fabulous. It was so good to be back with everyone again. We had two guest FlossTubers, and they were Diana of Diana Bloom Designs and Heidi of Whips and Kits. And we were also blessed to have Susan of Susan X Stitches in the group with us as well. All of you ladies are just so fabulous, and I always love the time that we have together and the stitching that we share. And it was wonderful. Diana explained a little bit about her designing process. Heidi wowed us with her her stitching projects. They're just amazing. And Susan, all of you had beautiful projects to share, and it was wonderful. So let's hear who is going to be with us on Zoom number 27, which will be January 25th. That will be a Sunday from 12 to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And they are Honeybee Stitcher 1598. Hello, Alice. Hobbies of Holly. Hi, Holly. Afton Grove Knitter. Beverly Ingram-m3b. Rofagan 6028. Kim Romelli 6171. The Physical Stitcher. Hi, Brenda. Clarekalantar. ComfortStitchingJackie. And the CornflowerStitchery. So, and then we will also be joined by Renee of Prairie Stitcher 515, who couldn't make the last video, and Regina, who will be with us. So it's going to be a fabulous group. We have a fabulous guest FlossTube situation going on, which will be wonderful, and I look forward to that. So for the bulk of you that I called out, I know that I have your email address, but if you don't think I have the correct one, please make sure that you go to the Google form. I will have the link below, and if you'll just fill that out, and I'll check that and make sure that I have everything correctly, and I will send you your link just prior to the Sunday video. So, and then that means that our next video will be, I did so good for once, but now I know I'm off. Why is there no February? Okay. Okay. So if it's the 25th, so our next Zoom will be February 8th. Again, that's a Sunday from 12 to 2. Pacific Standard Time, so that's February 8th. So if you would like to possibly be a part of that, please put Zoom in your comment, and we'll pick 10 names, and we'll be ready for the next one. So, okay. So we did that. I did have some shout outs that I wanted to do, and so I'll do those now. Sewing Room Secrets. Natalie is a lovely Irish woman who is living in Northwest England, and she had her first video, and it was fabulous. And so I encourage you all to go over and say hello to Natalie and welcome her to our fabulous community. Subscribe and support her the way we know how to do. Next, we had Rachel, the Nutmeg Stitcher. Rachel is a process stitcher, and she had lots of things to show, and I enjoyed her video very much. So that is Rachel, the Nutmeg Stitcher. I will have all of these with the links listed below. And then I got this recommendation from Audrey at Stitch Stitch Bead, and it was Tyler of Will It Stitch. And I watched his whip parade, and it was amazing. He had just a little bit of everything, and samplers, fancy ladies, Brenda Gervais. He just is a very, he has a wide variety of things that he stitches on. And Tyler, it was wonderful. So I will have him linked below. And speaking of Audrey of Stitch Stitch Bead, I just wanted to mention that she did have a video of all the Hands Across the Sea that she finished in 2025. And I guess she tied with one other woman for the most completed Hands Across the Sea projects for 2025. And so congratulations, Audrey. We're so proud of you. And I enjoyed so much watching all that beautiful eye candy. Grace, the Paisley Stitcher, has put out a new video. She is not to be missed. It's just always a joy to see you, Grace, and look at your fabulous stitching. I did see a whip parade from Michael, who is Davis Quilting Stitching. And again, he has such a gorgeous collection of samplers that he is working on, and he's a very talented stitcher. So there are probably others that I've watched, but those are the ones that are coming to mind right now, or the ones that I had the foresight to write down. I'd like to do shares next. I think that's where I want to go. Yes, let's do our shares, because oh my goodness, do we have some fabulous shares. So let's just jump right into it. The first one is from Desiree, and it is A Grateful Heart by the Scarlet House. And she stitched this on a 36 count Mason linen called Petticoat Light. And she used the called for overdyed, and she changed the house color to red. We all love a red house, don't we? Desiree, thank you for sending that fabulous finish. Sue sent several pieces. She sent the ornaments for the 9 great-grandchildren. And these were designs from Cross Stitching for Fun on Etsy, and they were stitched on a 28-count white Lugano and the called for DMC threads, and then she stitched the child's name on each ornament. The designs were called Cheerful Snowman and Cheerful Reindeer. Next, she had Satsuma Street ornaments. Then she stitched Joy to the World by Primrose Cottage on Mushroom Lugana with the called for threads. And then at the Jingle Ball classes, she has her needle book by Hands On Design and the Stand Up Santa, which I'm pretty sure was Hands On Design as well. And then there was a stitching exchange that was organized by the by Thread the Needle Stitchery, and this was a piece by Primrose Cottage, and it was finished on a pre-made display piece by Starry Night Studio. And the final piece was Frosty Bear from Erin Elizabeth, and this is from the Frosty Animal series. And she omitted the border to make a round ornament. And Sue, I so appreciate you sending these. They're just fabulous finishes. Clare sent a Moor Leopard by Lindy Stitches. She stitched this on a 32-count Silver Moon by Zweigart with the called for floss, and it is just stunning. And then she finished In Praise of Pollinators by the Blue Flower, and she stitched this on a 40-count Stormy Night by Zweigart with the called for floss. And the final piece was A Pretty Song, which was the holiday countdown collaboration between Modern Folk Embroidery, Evernote, and Roxy Floss. And she stitched this on a piece of 40-count vanilla custard. So Clare, wow. I was absolutely blown away by the holiday countdown piece. It was just stunning. So, okay, now, and I also wanted to share from Clare that she wrote that after I had done the encouragement of Never Admire Quietly, she sent an email to Jane, who is a salesperson for Thread Nuts. Jane was delighted to hear her feedback and said that she would send Clare's comments to Barbel Zimber, who is the dyer of those flosses in Germany. And Barbel teaches both remote and studio classes from Germany. Jane suggested that I check out her students' work and possibly take a remote class to improve my own skill level. And Jane from Thread Nuts plans to get her the correct website to look at. Anyway, just from those 3 words, Clare had a wonderful interaction, as well did Jane. And then these classes may be a byproduct of that. So I stick to my guns, never admire quietly. Okay, all right. So next we're going to go to Suzanne. Suzanne is, I have met her on Across the Pond Zooms, and she was on the one on Saturday as well. She finished A Tisket, a Tasket by Rosewood Manor. She stitched this on 40-count cream by Zweigart with the called for floss. She used she used a poem from Wendell Berry Sabbath Poems and stitched again, Hope Dreams Itself Awake at the top of it. And I love that. I think that's just beautiful. And one of the ways that she approached this was she stitched a motif every Saturday from the border, because those are quite repetitive. And of course, if you guys remember from mine, and as you can see from Suzanne's, there are a lot of color changes. She also kept a needle kept her needles threaded and ready to go. So, and kept those in a sewing pouch. So she had a plan to attack this fabulous piece. And Suzanne, I may borrow a couple of those good thoughts from you to hopefully get some progress on mine. Next, and this is with a great apology, I overlooked these two finishes by Charlotte. She had sent them in December, and when you see them, you'll know. America by Blackbird Designs, which she had stitched on 32 count vintage smoky white Belfast, and it was framed by Liz, who is the owner of the Stitchery Nook in Osage, Iowa, and it is absolutely stunning. And then her finish of Merry Christmas by Abby Rose, which is a highly sought after out of print chart. And she stitched this on 32 count Picture This Plus brash linen. And Charlotte, thank you for sending these. And I'm sorry that I overlooked them, but now we're all enjoying your beautiful stitching. Next, again, the talent, you ladies. This is from Louise, and this is The Sweet Birds Sing by Blackbird Designs. She stitched this on a 40 count Mason linen in the color Button Box. She made the cording from Weeks Dye Works Louisiana Hot Sauce. Fabrics were from French General, Chateau de Chantilly, and other fabrics from her stash. The English paper piecing templates were 3/8 inch jewels from the maker's stash at the_maker_stash, who she also reports has great tutorials. And then the final piece is her daughter's first fully finished piece from a kit with no prior stitching experience. So I will list the maker's stash in the description box below. But Louise, this is absolutely stunning. And thank you so much for sharing this with all of us. And then the final piece is from Susan. And this is Sailor's Delight by Teresa Kogut on 20 count Ada wheat and the DMC floss. So, wow, that gets our FlossTube started with all this glorious stitching. I had another thought about these shares. I would also like, the way I do put the FlossTubers that I talk about, but I would like to start putting the Instagram accounts of these fabulous stitchers, if they have those, also below. And I think with most of these that I have received so far, that would be okay. But just in the comments, let me know what you think about that. But I think it would be just as joyous to be able to go and find their Instagram accounts and follow them with all their pieces of stitching. So that was a new idea that I had, and just to keep us connected and keep us surrounded by the beauty of our stitching. So those were the shares. Okay, so we've got that out of the way. All right. Okay, I think we'll just go here now, and I think I can do this okay. I had a week. I had a week for something personal, and I had a week for the world. I had a mammogram on January 8th, and I got a call the next day that they had seen something on the mammogram and that I needed to have some follow-up imaging. And generally what they do is they do an ultrasound first, and then they will do what is called a diagnostic mammogram. And but it ended up that I had to wait a week to go through that. And as you all know, waiting is hard. And the bottom line is they did the ultrasound, and it was just a benign cyst. But you think a lot about those things when you're waiting. And I don't want for a minute anyone to realize that I don't understand how fortunate I was to get that piece of news, because everybody doesn't get that piece of news. So I wanted to share that with you. I want to stress again the importance of getting your mammograms. I want us to keep in our hearts and in our thoughts all those that didn't get the good news that I just got. The other thing that was happening as that went on is that a 37-year-old woman was killed. And I know I was vulnerable with my own selfish things, but she was 37 and Eva is 38. She's a mother of two, my daughter. And quite honestly, I could see my daughter being in the same situation. So I reached out to my friend Ellen of Maximum Cross Stitch because I needed to do something. I needed to work through a lot of stuff. And Ellen graciously charted her name so that I could make something with my hands and try to keep the beauty and the love in the world. So I just wanted to share my finish of Renee Nicole Good. I will probably make this just a little stand up. And I'm not going to go any further than that in this place. But this one just got me. And I love all of you. And I feel like if I can't talk to you about something that has really impacted me, then you know. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna keep, I hope, her family and her children in our thoughts. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for letting me share that with you. Okay, I'm just gonna take a minute and I'll be right back. Okay. We had a giveaway last time, which was the chart Stitching My Way to Happiness from Emma Condon, Stitchrovia. And I don't have the chart here, but I did fully finish mine. This was the a hoop that came in the kit. This was the, I think, January 2025 Continent Twine box. And so the winner of the chart is VIRPIR 2453, and I will have run that across. So if you will get my email address from the drop-down box below and send me your address, I will get that off in the mail to you. So this was the first time I tried to do the hoop butt from Catkin and Lily has a video. And I used mat board and I did everything that she said. So underneath this piece, which is the hoop butt, I did put a second piece with a little bit of batting underneath. So the only thing that I'm not fond of is that I can see this rim around here. So, but for my craft room downstairs, this will add a splash of color, and I am quite happy about it. So, thank you, Kat, for your wonderful tutorial, and it is an easy finish. I used some heat and bond and put fabric on the back, and so it is quite easy, and I've got another finished piece. So, okay. I had 3 new starts. Well, I had 1, 2, 2. I had three new starts, and then my start and finish. So let's jump into those. Okay, so my first one was Little Acorns by Modern Folk Embroidery. This is the 2026 Stitch Along. I am stitching this on a piece of Milk and Cream by Fiber on a Whim, and I am using the Painter's Threads, and this colorway is Matisse 125 Matisse. And this is my little start on it. But oh my goodness, it is so sweet. So there's just a very subtle variegation, and I already am madly in love with it, just madly. So this is Little Acorns by Modern Folk Embroidery. So that was my first start. And it is going to live now in, this is the bag made by Alicia from Upper Meadow Design Company. And I had a finish on what was in here, so I immediately scarfed it up and got a new project in there. My second new start was our Stitch Along for Across the Pond, and I will make sure that I put all the information below for our Facebook group, where all the information will be for the Stitch Along, because you can join us anytime. It's wonderfully organized by Sarah of Sew Me Sarah, and it's just a wonderful group to share our stitching. We have the once a month Zooms, which are lovely, and that is run by Angi of Tiny House Stitcher and Marie of Swan Bay Fabrics. So our Stitch Along is the Bees and Birds sewing roll, right? Biscornu and fob. And this is by Stacy Nash. So that's what it will look like. I am stitching mine on a piece of 40 count Swan Bay Fabrics. And this was actually a purchase, but I had to get started on. Our start date was January 11th because I am in their fabric club. And I encourage you, I will link it below, Swan Bay Fabrics, to go and look at the fabric club because it is wonderful. And Angi, the Tiny House Stitcher, is now going to be the U.S. distributor of Marie's beautiful fabric. So, but it came wrapped in this gorgeous piece of ribbon. And but this is, oh, and these are the flosses right here. And I did make some substitutions for things I didn't have. Instead of the Weeks Dye Works mascara, I'm using Roxy Floss Co. chalkboard. And for the chickpea, I'm using Weeks Dye Works Schneckley. And for the Havana, I'm using Weeks Dye Works Cocoa. And then the rest are as called for. And I have a little bling on there that I made. And this is my start so far. Isn't that sweet? So I will probably not keep up because I haven't been doing a very good job of doing that. But there is, Sarah has broken it down in actually 6 parts because this is scheduled to be finished in 6 months. But look at that fabric. Now this is the December fabric of the month. Rumor has it from some other FlossTubers that the name of this may be Dashwood, but I don't know that all of her fabrics from her fabrics of the month will be be put in her regular line of fabrics. But it is absolutely a joy to stitch on. I started stitching on it and I had to stop and text Marie and just tell her what a joy it was to use it. Because, and now this is in, I will share with you guys. Let me put this in here. I made 3 project bags with this fabric. So this one is the one that has a pink and then the brown. Then I have a solid brown one I think you'll see in a minute. And then this one hasn't been used yet. And then I made a solid pink one. And Corinne, I think I'm doing a pretty good job of matching, but I am following Corinne of Corey Creates. She showed us how to, you know, try to match up the area when you cut that. So, okay, so that is new start number 2. And then new start number 3 is my blessing sampler. And I have chosen for that Elizabeth A. Johnson, 1881, by Curry Cross Stitch. Hi, Cheryl. Thank you so much for working with us. And I have chosen 2 Swasser Fiends. Did I not write? Oh, okay. No, I chose 2 103s. And they are number 278 and number 073. And I'm doing this on a piece of 56 count Cafe au lait. In fact, it is on one half of this is my start on Be Not a Dunce. And then this is where I am on the Is That Not So Sweet? Oh, I love it. So that is Elizabeth A. Johnson, 1881, by Curry Cross Stitch. So I'm doing pretty good because I'm on this row right here. So yeah, I mean, we'll get it done. So that was my 3rd new start. Oh, I've got them lined up, these new starts. But anyway, okay, so we did that. So let's see. I showed you the new starts, my fully finish. And we would be exactly ready to jump into my works in progress, but I didn't bring them out here. So I'm going to go grab that laundry basket and I'll be right back. Before I show you my works in progress, I got the January Cotton and Twine box from the Historical Sampler Company. And you know, it comes in this beautiful box and with this gorgeous paper. And I told you about it last time, but I did not have the box. So let's look at the real thing because I would like to give this box away. And I need to keep it to the United States just because of the bulk. And so if you will use the word spring, I'll run that across in your comment. Look what this is. It is Stitching Till Spring. And it is obviously a gorgeous Emma Congdon Stitcherovia chart. It comes with the 32 count linen in a white with, look at the color palette. Oh my goodness. It is absolutely gorgeous. There's needle in here and the fabric. There is a Royal Mint chocolate bar. There is this gorgeous fabric and rickrack trim to completely finish it. So there's the fabric and there is the trim and a tea bag And look at this sweet, sweet ornament. Oh my goodness, is that not gorgeous? So this is the January cotton and twine box. Now, as we've discussed, they offer now 3 ways to approach your subscription. You can order the box, just like I showed you, or you can get the fabric, floss, and chart, or you can get just the PDF and pull from Stash. This box will be available all the way through January 31st. So that should give you plenty of time to get that ordered if you're not the winner for the box. So this is what I'm going to give away. And like I said, that word will be spring. But it is so gorgeous. I feel so fortunate that Suzanne and Joanne have entrusted me a bit to share their beautiful products with you, and also to allow me to enjoy them, because you know this was the January, which was also in Macongdon, and I'm just thrilled with it. So okay. So that is the cotton and twine box. So now I think that we can jump into my works in progress. Probably not quite as many as I usually have, just because of, yeah, things were bumpy. So, okay, my first one is Elizabeth Metcalf, and that is 1860, and this is by Rosie in the Rockies. I am stitching this on a piece of 46 count linen in vintage meadow rue by Lakeside, and I am using most of the called for flosses. I did substitute cottage blue for St. Bernard, and I changed eggshell to perfect pie crust. And this is my progress, loaded with threads, of course. But I worked primarily on this bottom motif right here. And oh, I just love it. Look at the colors. I am not stitching the border. I am with Kim, Contented Needleworker. Hashtag no borders. But I absolutely love stitching on it. And I adore this 46 count Lakeside. So that is Elizabeth Metcalf. We have a wonderful group that we have a thread for, and if you would like to be a part of that, you can contact Rosie of Rosie in the Rockies, or Kim, Contented Needleworker. And we also have Zooms periodically, just to, we're not always stitching on Lissy, as we call her, but it is just, again, it's community with a wonderful group of people, stitchers. My next piece is Baldequin Birdies, which many of you could rightfully say should have been finished before I did Little Acorns, but this is what that looks like. I am still trying to put stitches on it every Saturday. This would be a great 2 threads a day. I will see where I get with it, but I'm kind of leaning towards wanting to make my next 2 threads a day Anne Hunt Nail C. It is that beautiful Quaker charted by Kathleen Littleton of Cross Stitch Antiques. So I haven't made up my mind, but this is Baldequin Birdies. It is being stitched on a piece of 25 count light mushroom Lugana, and I'm using the Pirate and Robin floss in the color Redstone. So I am working on filling in this, to get this to look like that. And then I took I worked on this part right in here. So, oh, I just love it. It is so beautiful. So that's Baldequin Birdies by Modern Folk Embroidery, which was the 2025 Stitch Along. And I will just keep plugging away on it. This is one piece that I will work on every week until it's finished. Okay. Next we have, all my stories are coming out, aren't they? This is the stitch along from across the pond for last year, which is One Stitch at a Time by Lottie Da. And I'm stitching this on a piece of 40 count wheat by Fiber on a Whim. I'm using the called for floss, but I am making a change based on what I've seen some other people do. So I have started working on this side, but then I just had to come down and start this flower. And I think this one is correct, but the next flower is almost sort of a goldy color, and I'm going to use this darker kind of purpley color and alternate those for the flowers. But again, it's such an enjoyable stitch. And I'm trying to work on it just a little bit every week or 2 weeks to get that finished. So that is One Stitch at a Time by Lottie Da. And next we have, this is Mary Barton's work by Mojo Stitches. Again, just a joy. I am stitching this on a little piece of 40 count Prairie Grass by Seraphim, and I'm using a mixture of DMC and the overdyed floss. And this is where I got, again, any piece that has a lot of color changes is going to have a lot of, but I got this leaf or branch done, the flower is done, and I've started going down here, and now I'll pull the threads to the other side, and look at that. Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. So that's Mary Barton's work by Mojo Stitches. I stitch birds on Fridays, and it was such a joy having Diana on the Zoom, and there's going to be a lot more birds in my life, I can tell you that. I'm just trying to get this flat and organized in my beautiful bag made by Brenda. Okay, next we have, I don't show this every single time, but I felt like I got some work done on it, and that is Aria's Christmas stocking, and it is a wildlife Christmas. I know you all watch for bated breath and want to see loads of progress, but I'm doing it on a 14 count antique white Ada, and I'm using the call for DMC, and there will be threads galore, and this is where I am. So it's hard for me to even remember where. I know I worked on a lot of this greenery and came down in here, but it's just so much fun to start to see the animals pop up. So it's going to be so pretty. So that is a wildlife Christmas. I did put it up on my story on Instagram, but I will put it at the end of this. Stan had his birthday January 1st, which is also the birthday of Laura Duet. And tomorrow, which is the 16th, will be Brenda's birthday. Happy birthday, Brenda. And happy birthday, Barbara. It will also be Barbara's birthday. So happy birthday. Mwah. But Eva sent a video of Vince and Aria singing Happy Birthday to Stan. Oh Oh, these grandchildren, right? I mean, they're just everything. So I'll put that at the end and you can enjoy that as well. My next is this is my focus piece, which is the Smith Sampler by the Scarlet House. So I work on this 7 times a month. I'm going to put it that way. Oh, but I love working on it. And so this time I worked on more border over here. I got this flower pretty much in, and I had to start on this house because it has a pink roof. So that is the Smith Sampler. I'll let you see all of it by, oh my goodness, look at that. By the Scarlet House. Oh, I'm stitching this on a piece of 36 count cottage stone by Color and Cotton, and I am using the called for silks. And loving every minute. Okay. Next we have my, oops, excuse me. My red sampler, which is a French Fancy by Mama Loves You GB. I'm stitching this on a piece of 56 count coffee au lait, and I'm using the Aversois Soie Surfine in 2644. And so I got the T finished. I have started the U. Got more work on the border on this side here, but oh my gosh, I just love this. And because this is Thursday, I worked on this morning, and I will continue to work on it this afternoon. So that's a French Fancy by Mama Loves You GB. Okay. Oh, and you know what? I'll show you because I'm keeping them all in the same bag. This is the 2 colors that I am using for the my blessing sampler, Elizabeth A. Johnson by Curry Cross Stitch. Aren't they gorgeous? Okay. Next we have, this is my 2 threads a day piece, and that is Disagree by Rebel Stitcher, making great progress with 2 threads a day. I am stitching this, oh, I know this one, by 40 Count Ancient by Picture This Plus, and I am using the Cottage Garden Threads Midnight. And here's where I am. I think you will see a finish on this next time. So I think I have 2, like 1.5 more rows of words. So this is Disagree, and it says we can disagree and still love each other unless your disagreement is rooted in my oppression and denial of my humanity and right to exist. So, yep, almost done. I am a fan of 2 threads a day. Okay. And my last piece, but certainly not my least, oh my goodness, is GH 1857. This was gifted to me by Debbie. Thank you so much, Debbie. I am stitching this on a piece of 40 count Eleanor's Ivory by Swan Bay Fabrics. It is an exquisite piece of fabric. And I am using the called for threads. And this there is a Facebook group group now, so you can post your progress, and there is a picture there of the breakdown to have this done in 2 years. And so I haven't quite finished the first section, but I did get a lot more of this done. I just need to put the base here on this urn of flowers. I absolutely love working on this. And a lot of it is the chart, but a lot of it is the fabric. So that's Eleanor's Ivory by Swan Bay Fabrics. And then this is the third of the project bags that I made. Yeah, those are pretty good. Pretty matchy-matchy. So those are my works in progress that we shorten here to whips. So now I do have something else to talk to you about. And I guess, I don't know if the word is not competitive. It is, I always like to see I'm up for a challenge. And on January 1st, I pulled myself together and said, here we go. And I got out my box of Laura Standish, and I was organizing the instructions and reading. I could not make heads or tail of the instructions. I have absolutely no doubt if that box and I could go and sit down with Joanne Harvey or be in a class, that I could do this, but I couldn't make enough sense of it to warrant that kind of time at 74 years old, when there is so much that I want to stitch. And I'm disappointed in myself, because I think with all of your help, I have kind of proven to myself that there's so many things that I can do that I said I couldn't do. 56 count, 1/1, finishing things, framing things. But quite frankly, because of my age, I can't do it. And Kathy, I thank you so much for giving that to me. I am going to make sure I have a contact that this goes to someone who really wants to stitch it. So that's where I am with that. So I want to be upfront, but it was just more than my time would allow. So so as far as plans, for the rest of January, I want to get my blessing sampler done, continue working on the pieces that I'm working on. I have a start planned with Kim. That will probably happen this month. Contented Needleworker and Renee of Prairie Stitcher 515. And I don't have the name of the chart with me right at this moment. I'll run it across the bottom. It is another sampler from Curry Cross Stitch, and we have a plan to start that. In February, I plan to start Jessie Challenor with Muriel, so I'm looking forward to that. And maybe in March, some happy mail. Amy ended up with 2 of these, and look at this. And I think there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors, and so I may just go ahead and get the 103s for this. So that is Threads of Christmas. And then I had 2 purchases, and one of them, you guys are going to be so happy because so many of you have suggested that I get it, and that's the domed threaded needle holder. I don't think I have it down perfectly yet, and probably the Swasserfine is not its favorite thread because it's so thin, but I was using it this morning when I worked on a French fancy with the Swasserfine. But guys, you're right. It's going to be fabulous. I love it. And it's just like with anything, there's a little bit of a learning curve. Laura Standish doesn't have a little bit of a learning curve. This does, and I'm up for the challenge. I also, when I got the threads for Bees and Birds sewing roll, I got one of the Satsuma Street ornaments because I'd like to keep working on those throughout the year. So that is, it's called Dear Santa. So those were my purchases. And so, you know, just to recap just a little bit, Zoom number 27 is going to be January 25th. And I have given you those names. Please make sure that I have your email address so that I can send you the link. The link for the Google form will be in the description box below. The next Zoom will be February 8th, 12 to 2 Pacific Standard Time, which is also a Sunday. So please put Zoom in the comment if you would like to be a part of that. And then the giveaway will be the 2026, January 2026 Cotton and Twine box with this gorgeous chart from Stitchrovia, Stitching Till Spring. Look at the animals. And I will, so spring will be the key word for that. So I think we got through everything. If you were new to my video, I hope you liked what you saw and that you will share, ring the bell, like, subscribe, do all the things that we do on FlossTube. I just want to say that I didn't share the issue with the mammogram with anyone except Stan because I wanted to be confident that it would be okay, and I did, you know. We all have enough on our plates right now. But I still knew you guys were there. I knew I could write any single one of you and have you hold my hand or let me cry or whatever. So I know you're there. And let's keep making beautiful things. Let's keep loving, caring for each other, being empathetic, compassionate. Remember to keep Barb in your prayers. All of you that are going through anything, let's be there for each other. I have no words for what all of you mean to me and have meant to me in the last almost 4 years. It's hard to imagine going through a lot of the stuff without you. So I think that I have done everything that's on the table. So I'm going to ask you to grab your stitching, get comfortable, and stitch what you love while you're loving others. Bye-bye. Until next time.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Are you going to pretend to play the guitar? Happy birthday, dear. Happy birthday to you. Anything you want to say?
Happy birthday. birthday to you, that person.
Anything you want to say, Aria? Happy birthday, Stan. Happy birthday, Grandpa Stan.
Happy birthday.